Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, it's an unlikely combination, an actress and model who was one of Playboy magazine's biggest stars, and an Orthodox Jewish rabbi. What could they possibly have come together to campaign against? Well, pornography, of course. In a moment, we'll be hearing from them, but first, a little explanation. And a warning, this report contains flashing lights from the start. She's not the first person you'd expect to lobby against porn. Actress, glamour model, Playboy playmate, Pamela Anderson has been a sex symbol for decades. But in a joint article with famous New York rabbi Rabbi Boteach, she's warning of the corrosive effects of pornography and wants an honest conversation on what it's doing to relationships. Pamela Anderson became a star on the cheesy American TV hit Baywatch. She's been a pin-up for generations. Off TV, she was a soft porn glamour girl, making the cover of Playboy more than any other model. She fell victim to a leak of a private sex video, which went viral on the internet. But nothing stopped her mixing with the rich and powerful, including the Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. These days, she's known for being an animal rights activist, but it's her anti-porn campaign that's making waves in a multi-billion-pound industry. She asks how many relationships will suffer with unrealistic aspirations of sex caused by watching porn, and fears watching explicit material impedes a man's ability to be a good husband and father. Where is love in all this, she asks. But many, like porn actress Ella Hughes, argue porn is getting a disproportionate blame.
It's so easy to pin the blame on something, and people blame it on pornography because it's an easy target to poke holes in, because there has been ongoing issues with people's conceptions. I think that this world is quite a conservative one still, so people still kind of are a bit shocked at the whole subject towards like sexuality, but porn did not create sexuality and depravity. It's always been something that's there.
Ella markets herself, as many others do, online on places like Twitter. And critics worry this means children having access to explicit images. But is sexual imagery really leading, as Pamela Anderson and Rabbi Shmuley argue, to a generation becoming the crack babies of porn? Well, I spoke to Pamela Anderson and Rabbi Shmuley Boteach a little earlier, and I began by asking Pamela Anderson what she's really worried about.
Well, I'm concerned about porn addiction, and I think it's infecting relationships. I think it's, I'm worried that the world's going to forget how to make love. I'm calling for a sensual revolution. I think the sexual revolution just gave us a lot of really bad sex, and I think it gave us a lot of freedom, but it also kind of is at a point now where it seems to be a dark turn. There's a lot of access. You know, I have 2 teenage boys, and I just want us to take stock of ourselves and kind of think about, just have a little bit of a timeout, press reset, how much of this is really affecting our lives. And you know, we're not talking about a dictatorship, we're not talking about government getting involved, just about ourselves, and just remembering what sensuality is and what intimacy is. And, you know, that's the best kind of sex, so.
But what is the dark turn? I mean, what is it that you think is happening to teenage boys and other people, you know, anyone who's consuming it?
Grown men too. You know, when you have a woman lying in bed in lingerie and you're in the locked in the bathroom looking at the computer, something's wrong, you know? So there's so much access, and I'm worried about that for young people too, that I know I should probably disqualify myself in this conversation because I'm a Playboy playmate. I had a tape stolen from my house and sold, you know, and all over the world that we had nothing to do with. But people need more and more to get aroused, I feel like, and I think it's leading towards violence against women, rape, child abuse. I really think it has something to do with that, and I think that we really have to start just thinking about what we're doing as people, how we're imprinting ourselves, what we're watching, what we're doing, what we're eating, what we're wearing. It all builds our character, and it's really important to just have the conversation.
Rabbi, what is it you want to do? Because the genie's out of the bottle now. I mean, you can't stop the porn industry, can you? I mean,
no, on the contrary, because we're not trying to impose anything from above. We're trying to get people to express what they really want. People want 2 things, passion and intimacy. They want relationships that are both hot and heavy, but also create closeness and a sense of removing aloneness. Now, anyone who's watching the presidential election in the United States can't help but be disgusted by the accusations of this candidate, this former president, But these people, it's not just political, they're marinating in a culture that degrades women, where women are portrayed as the means to the male libidinous end.
I mean, Pamela, you raised it. You were a Playboy model, and you've been a glamour model for many years. What is the difference between what you've done and what it is that you're worried about?
Well, I think that's what we have to ask ourselves. Where does titillation and voyeurism and healthy, sexy is healthy. To be sexy is healthy, and we have to figure out where we draw the line, within ourselves. I don't think Playboy was pornographic. I really think it was. I had a great experience with Playboy, and the Playboy lifestyle was a lot of fun. It's bittersweet that it's ended, and I know it seems funny that I'm, been on the last cover of Playboy, but that I'm also have these concerns.
Now, Rabbi Shmuley raised the tone, the sexual tone of what's going on in the U.S. election at the moment. Now, you've written a very powerful piece on your blog, really, I guess, talking about Donald Trump and those revelations recently. I mean, you found it disgusting.
I did, and I have never been a fan because I kind of knew that this was probably going to come because, and it's not okay. It's not okay to validate that in any way. So to have that person be the president of the United States is going to send a really poor message to children, to men everywhere that are looking for, role models, and it can't be swept under the rug. So I really do hope. It is a complicated situation in the elections, and it seems kind of like a reality TV show, and you don't even want your kids to watch TV right now because you don't want to see this on TV.
But it transcends partisanship because you have Trump, you have Bill Clinton, you have all of this
Bill Clinton's
that
running
came.
for president.
True.
But Pamela, you must have met Trump. I mean, you've been photographed with him at public
I
things.
think it was like a birthday party. I think I was hired to be at an appearance where he was.
Did your experience of him and the way he approached you tally with what we heard in that tape? I mean, did you find him leery or
Well, I took a picture with him and
sexually
his wife.
threatening in any way? Or
I was with his wife, taking a picture, or girlfriend at the time. I'm not quite sure, but it was a long time ago. But I didn't even think of it. Again, there's a lot of men that I run across. You kind of have that feeling maybe a little bit when you're taking a picture with them that maybe some are more lecherous than others, but you get out of that situation pretty quick. You're just there for a picture.
did you get that feeling with him?
No, not that I remember. But I just.
It's just that you said you felt this was coming.
Well, I've heard stories. Like everybody else has, he's been calling, Muslims and he's been degrading so many different people, not just women. And, just saying strange things even about, just girls in general. I just, this isn't a big, it's not like a big crazy thing that just happened. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of issues the way he talks about people in general.
The defense that it's locker room banter. I mean, that's the issue. It's the defense as this is our culture. And there's a whole debate going on in the United States right now as to whether that's true. Whether
you think he's wrong in that, even though you're a supporter of his, aren't you?
I mean, I'm what?
You're a supporter of his, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
No, I thought you were. Sorry.
No, I appreciate that he's a strong supporter of Israel. I'm Jewish. But no, I've condemned his comments. They are deplorable. They're disgusting. They're vile. You can't speak that way about women, and you can't speak that way about minorities. The most powerful thing in our conversations, me and Pamela, is when she says to me that so many women want to be treated like sex symbols, like Pamela is an international sex symbol, but actually, in relationships, that means you get treated very poorly, very badly. And a lot of women are suffering through that. And if you have someone like Pamela Anderson saying that, if you have someone like Pamela Anderson saying, I'm in a relationship where men can ignore me physically, erotically, sexually, because men are kind of addicted to vast quantity, wow, that's a real problem. And we have to start having that conversation. Trump is the tip of the iceberg. His comments have to be condemned utterly. But the rest of us have to do a little bit of soul searching as well.
Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
I've been getting away with it all.